everybody. This is Phil and Brandon from Zaid Comics, the creators of Magic Cop, which is in demand on Indiegogo right now, and just the two best-looking brothers in all of comics. And today we have some crazy comics news. I've been doing a lot of reviews and videos on the Mask series, the old stuff, and the new series out from Dark Horse. And there's an article that I saw the other day online that it's rumored to be making a Mask sequel with Jim Carrey. So this is from movieweb.com. Mask 2 with Jim Carrey rumored to be in development.
Unsubstantiated rumor.
Yeah. So take this however you will. But there has been rumors coming out from the New Line and Warner Brothers. Yeah. And they're saying they want to get Jim Carrey, but no other actors have, been talked about in that sense. This is following another statement that has come out from the original creator of the series, the Mask comic from Dark Horse, of course. And he came out saying that he wants to do a Mask movie with a female lead. And says that he would want a physical comedy actress to play the lead, and he has some ideas, but he doesn't want to say.
Wanda Sykes.
Yeah, Mike Richardson, which is interesting because Mike Richardson was really never the writer of The Mask. I actually remember I saw you that first incarnation.
Michael Richardson played Kramer? Or was it Michael Richards?
Yes, Mike Richardson is this guy. Remember I showed you that first incarnation of The Mask, but it was spelled differently? M-I-S-Q-U-E?
Masky.
Yeah, I think he wrote that in the first iteration before The Mask even looked like the Big Head Killer from the 90s. So what do you think about a Mask sequel, or maybe a female-led Mask movie?
Two questions. Mask sequel could be really cool. I always worry about the writing, like we've seen with Dumb and Dumber 2. Mm-hmm. Dumb and Dumber, one of the greatest movies ever made. Yeah. Dumb and Dumber 2, not even a movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's horrible.
They bring that up in the article.
Do they?
Yeah, that Jim Carrey, with his sequels in the past, 10 to 15 years.
Oh, yeah, past 10 to 15 years. Because,
right.
Arguably Ace Ventura 2 is a better movie than Ace Ventura.
I enjoy it better.
It happens. You get lucky with these sequels, and it works out. But, it's so much later, and I like the idea of it being a sequel instead of a remake or a reboot of the series, especially if you're going to bring back Jim Carrey. I think that's really cool. It could be everybody now, the big thing is making franchises, and for, what could be cool is you kind of start a soft reboot with Jim Carrey, and then you could go the way of the comics where, spoilers, Stanley Ipkiss dies, and then the mask gets passed on to somebody else.
Right.
I think that could be cool, and then you start your reboot franchise from there.
Yeah.
The idea of a woman playing the Mask is very topical right now because, the trend that we're seeing in so many movies and stuff going on right now. But I think it could be really cool if done right. Let's say you do it in a very 90s comic or 90s action movie way where the hero or the main protagonist is just the main protagonist, whether it's a man or a woman. I think that's really cool. Right now we have so much of the sticking it to the man. We got to have the women, really showing them what's going on. But I think that, in the 90s we had so many, and even the late 80s, we had so many good movies where the hero was just the badass, and that worked so well.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome to see in a Mask situation. And then, if we went to the 90s comics era style, then you would have this really outrageous, super hot, female Mask character. I think that would look really cool,
yeah,
especially on screen.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that, looking back at the first movie, that we never seen a chick in the Mask. It was a big staple in the comics, Stanley's girlfriend in the comics, Kathy, wears the mask, and she has got that big blonde ponytail with still that crazy face. It's really comical, and I think you could play off with that in the films a lot.
I think if they did it in the first Mask, there would not have been enough time. There would have been like that too much. Let's cram this in here, you know, because they had to fit in Dorian, they had to fit in Milo, or Milo, you know, with the mask and stuff. So if they would have put another character in the mask, it would have just been like, well, let's just have everybody wear this mask.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to look at it. And bringing up the sequel idea, that's just a good opportunity for them now to do.
Yeah.
So even if they do Jim Carrey, you bring back Cameron Diaz, you put her in the mask for a little bit, and that's a good big reveal moment for the film.
Just as long as the bad guy is not an eviler version of the mask, like a second mask.
Right. Well, they did that in the first one, but
it was the same mask though.
Right. Oh yeah. They should not do a second mask at all.
Right.
It should always be, you know, that one. What they did in the comics is they put the mask up against this big antagonist who is like this brain dead mafia, big, huge jacked monster that can't die. Like he gets shot up like 8 times, he gets knives in his throat and stuff like that. The mask can't even kill him, and he gets literally, Calloway drives a car, hits him with a car that's on fire, and he goes into a lake, and goes to the hospital, and he's fine. He breaks out of the hospital. He doesn't talk at all. I forget his name. I think his name's like Winston or something.
He's very Grundy-esque.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's got a bunch of scars on his body. He's very Grundy-esque. So they could go with him, just make it a crazy supernatural monster that's like this mafia killer, and you could actually take the sequel to a more superhero level where this guy needs the mask to stop this bigger threat. Yeah, I think it could be great, but it also has the potential of being horrible. Writers now latching on to these old IPs are ruining it. So I think if you go the way that Mike Richardson wants to go with the female-led Mask movie, it could start off leaving a bad taste in people's mouths when we're getting jaded by movies like Charlie's Angels and Ghostbusters.
Yeah, just don't make it a feminist crusade. Just make it a movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So what do you guys think of the Mask sequel? How do you feel about a female lead or Jim Carrey coming back? I mean, that movie made a boatload of money for him, and started off his 90s career with being one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood of the 90s.
We'll have to see how he does in Sonic, and that could revitalize his whole career.
Yeah, it could be lynched on that, on how he does with that one. So thanks for watching, everybody. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and hit that button for notifications. We will see you next time. Hey guys, have you heard of Magic Cop? This is the comic book that we're making at Zaid Comics. It is live right now on Indiegogo. It is that Miami Vice feel mixed with monsters and magic. 88 pages, fully colored graphic novel. And be sure to pick up that ash can that comes with it. It's going to have a bunch of concept art and a 12-page pilot issue. So check it out. We're fully funded. That means if you back it, you're definitely going to get this book. And we're heading on for the stretch goals. So help us out to get there. Thanks, everybody. Did you guys know that Brandon Diaz, the artist of Magic Cop, has his very own Patreon page? You guys can head on over there and pledge for either $5 or $8 a month, and you get these beautiful digitally painted pictures by Brandon. He does one a week for all of his members. So head on over there, check it out.